Deep in the heart of Newcastle, nestled into the vibrant and unique community of Ouseburn, lies Stepney Bank Stables, a fully equipped commercial stables and a charity that supports young people who, through working with horses, develop their social and emotional well-being skills.
We're an inner city riding school and children's project. So we work with children who are aged 8 to 18. There's a diverse range of children, some mostly from within the city, but from very different parts of the city. And we also have some children who come from out with the area. They come to ride and they come to be part of our project, learning social skills that help them to progress, I suppose, in life, so that they can interact better with their peers, with their teachers, with their families, and that they can be the best they can be.
Happy Brain is a tried and tested educational model that teaches children and young people robust skills that nurture their mental and emotional health. It's also a specialist application of neuro-linguistic programming, teaching people how to run their brains more easily, happily, and on purpose.
We have a member of our team here who is a master practitioner in NLP and is working with Kay in the Happy Brain programme, and she's been working with our staff over the last year, so all the way through lockdown, and developing our team so that we're ready now when we open, that we've got a common theme that we're working towards with our youth project here. Kay Cook came to us about 8 years ago now, I think it must be, and it was another member of staff who had a little bit to do with NLP, and I didn't know very much about it at the time, but we're looking to develop our staff team. We wanted them to be a more cohesive team. We have a youth work project and obviously a busy riding school, so both parts need to function really well together. And although the teams are quite different, the common ground in that is that they both work with young people.
I first did the core model training a couple of years ago, it might even be a little bit longer, and could immediately see the fit with what we do here at the stables. I think, like with anything like this, it takes a little while to grow and to brew and to percolate, and it was over that time that I saw opportunities for being able to introduce it as part of our work, not just in terms of our riding lessons, but also in terms of our staff and our young people. And as my knowledge about Happy Brain grew in conversations with Denise, the CEO, we both saw the opportunity to be able to use the tools and the strategies and the learning that sit behind Happy Brain as a really valuable tool for our young people.
It's a really good tool, we thought, to get them to think about how they're behaving and how they're responding to each other. So Happy Brain is really good for maybe bringing that to the fore and getting them to reflect a little bit. Our young people come from all sorts of different backgrounds, and the behaviour here is often very good, but sometimes can be a little bit disruptive, and sometimes it's not clear where that's coming from. So it was to help the staff to recognise that a child might be behaving in a particular way today. We haven't seen anything that would have instigated that, but it's possibly to do with something that happened last week or last month or last year, and there's something that's triggered that. And just for them to be aware that they're probably seeing the end result of something and not maybe able to connect it to something that they've seen. So Happy Brain was a way of looking at how we can address that.
Happy Brain was created in 2010 to help overcome barriers to cognitive learning, because stress brains are the greatest barrier to cognitive learning. They prioritise emotional and physical rewards above logic. Stress brings undesirable and unpredictable behaviours that feel bad, attract negative attention, and feed a spiral that can feel like a trap to all involved. Of course, there are tools for de-stressing, but teaching robust skills for thriving is far more effective and sustainable for our next generation. Happy Brain coaching helps young people learn how to enhance their personal thrive drives through fun, play, and creativity.
Hello, my name's Jackie Maher. I manage the equestrian and youth activity. I also manage another department, which is the alternative provision, which runs 3 days a week here at Stepney Bank Stables. Currently, The last 8 months I've been training with Happy Brain and Kay Cook and Tracey Hutchinson, and I've completed the first course, and now I'm training to be a Happy Brain coach.
I come here to see Betsy and Jingles, which are my two favourite horses. I like riding both of them. They're really nice. And I also like coming here to see my friends. We meet here. We live pretty far away from each other, so this is a place where we can all meet up.
Do you ever feel like the horses are your friends?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, oh, we've got lots of nods there.
100%.
Yeah. Like horses you can like talk to all the time.
Yeah, you can tell
Like,
them
yeah.
whatever you want, and
Yeah.
they'll just be there,
basically
you know.
understand you, yeah. Like, you know how like if you've got like something hard to tell to your friends, like you've got other friends at the stables like horses, so so you can tell them instead of like your actual friends that come here. And then when you feel like the horses make you feel better, so you can tell like your friends at the stables.
But with like horses, like won't judge you like other people do.
Yeah, for the staff, because the staff are really nice. And my friends and riding and the horses as well, compare everything really. Because Jackie does lots of fun stuff as well. Like she puts on like lovely like activities, like she does the plants, she does the bee baths, she does like indoor activities and outdoor activities as well. So that's really fun as well.
When I go to school, I think, right, I've got to work. But then I'm thinking during like my lessons and things, yes, I'm going to the stable after school.
Yeah,
and I get excited.
Some of the experiences we've had here at the centre with Happy Brain have been just amazing. I think Happy Brains came at a great time of what's going on in the world, where young people need more support than ever. Nearly every member of staff at Stepney Bank Stables is trained in Happy Brain. So from the yard team to our youth provision, to the administration staff in the office, have all got an understanding and a qualification in Happy Brain. And that's crucial to our centre. And the more we learn and develop with Happy Brain, we can really see the changes in how the centre and how the young people are responding. We've been running this during lockdown, which was fantastic that we had Happy Brain, because so many young people were struggling with isolation anxiety, social anxiety. So we've never really seen isolation anxiety before, so that was something quite new. Talking about growing our plants and what we hope and how we maintain them, which worked really well of questioning young people, well, how do you look after yourself? Do we water ourselves enough? Is it just water? Do we feed our souls with things that we love and enjoy? So it opens up these great conversations, exploring them through the great medium of plants, painting planters, we made bee baths, and these key conversations and these safe spaces for young people to come and meet and be able to just sit and talk to their peers with a trained member of staff about their experiences, exploring feelings, creating coping strategies, feeling like they're able to cope.
I was so nervous at the start of the day because like I came in, Jackie said that there was going to be a recording, and I was like, it's today, I'm going to die. I'm so nervous. Yeah.
Still here.
And then it just started getting closer to the time, and I was just like, okay, it's not that bad. It's easy. It's okay. I've done it.
You really have.
I thought it would be much like scarier, like more nerve-wracking than it actually is.
And so what were you doing that made you think it was going to be scary? Was it things you were telling yourself? Was it pictures you made?
Yeah.
Was it all of those things?
Yeah, it was. I was just putting pictures in my head of what I thought it would look like, and then I was just getting more nervous.
Yeah.
And then Jackie made me meditate.
It's happy to be. We brought out the singing bowls, didn't we?
And then after that, I just felt calm and tired.
This morning when me and Jay were getting Barley ready for his riding lesson, we were grooming him, patting him, and he was really enjoying it.
Yeah, he was like this. He was like that.
His
But
eyes
when I was
closed,
in
he was looking
the arena, Me and Bonnie felt scared together, so basically I felt more happier because Bonnie was feeling nervous, I was feeling nervous, but when we went first and we got it over with, I just shouted like...
One of the most monumental things that's come out of Happy Brain is the parents' feedback. Before I started here, I think generally parents were in a bit of a rush. They would come and pick their kids up and were straight off, and that's quite common in youth provisions. The amount of parents that we've had come in, phone, message on the social media. I've had parents crying because they honestly said that they feel that their child wouldn't have been able to get through lockdown without the support of the staff at Stepney, which was just incredible. You know, the parents know their kids inside out. So to see and hear those differences, many of the young people now have come forward and are very open about how they talk about their feelings. And that's something we didn't see 12 months ago. So we're starting to see these changes of it. They won't just come on their own and say, look, I really need to talk to you one-to-one. We're actually seeing groups of kids going, look, this happened today. And they're quite happy to share that in front of their peers, which we hadn't seen. So I really feel like these strands of Happy Brain, how it grows organically, how any youth worker, children's worker, practitioner, whatever your medium is, it can be woven in so well. We have discussions when we're down grooming the horses. When you see the kids' faces light up when they're grooming, it's a perfect time to go, you know, what is it makes you happy about the horses? How does it feel? So you're creating, being able to hold space for young people to explore self-awareness. And if young people have self-awareness, everything else comes in line with it as well. They're aware.
All staff at Stepney Bank Stables have completed at least the first level of Happy Brain training and are committed to ongoing monthly in-house workshops. Happy Brain also supports teenagers directly who visit the stables each week as part of an alternative provision programme. Happy Brain utilises the importance of staying safe around horses, which requires calm confidence, a fantastic backdrop for coaching young people how to self-regulate emotional states.
My name is Caitlin and I'm working at Stepney Bank Stables currently as a yard apprentice. I've been doing this for 2 years, coming up in July. I do a lot of Happy Brain with the children downstairs, the young volunteers. When some of the volunteers don't want to do a certain task, or if some volunteers are upset, if something's gone on at home, or obviously there's a lot of falling outs at Stepney with the young ones, I always ask them how their emotion felt, how the situation affected them, and how to improve it, so there's always a solution to a problem that's created. Been here since I was 3 years old, so leaving at the age of 19, I've been here quite a long time. I was always a shy young girl when I was younger, and most members of staff and volunteers will let you know I'm not very shy anymore, very open. I feel like I've created a role model. A lot of the children look up to me, so I think I would pass it on and be a big role model to some of the younger ones, and hopefully they'll grow up a bit like me. Well, I would say Happy Brain is like a star. So a star that becomes so dull that can brighten yourself up. Happy Brain really makes you go from the very low to the very high in seconds. It's a massive change in your life.
My name's Katie and I'm yard supervisor here at Stepney. Well, any of the models in Happy Brain you can turn around and make it work. If I'm kind of calm and composed when everything's slightly gone pear-shaped, should we say, it reflects on the staff and then again reflects on the volunteers here. So by having that self-reflection, if you like, and then being able to speak to the staff, check in with them daily, see exactly where they're at, even if it's just the simple, the happy face, the smiley face model, just to check in and say, right, where are we at, where do we want to be, how we're going to get there, right, what we're going to do. And it can actually work quite well, and it's not too complex, and you can do it while mucking the horse out.
My name's Becky and I've been working at Stepney Bank Stables as a customer service apprentice since August last year. So I've been at Stepney since I was 7, so I've been here 10 years now. Started through the project and worked my way up. So when I started, I didn't have much confidence at all, and being at Stepney, it really brought out a side of us that I didn't even know I had. I feel like the techniques that I've been introduced to really benefited myself and the children that I work with. Especially the technique that I like the most is the perceived emotion scale. I feel like that one's really beneficial because you can exactly pinpoint how you feel, and it's a visual, so others can point to it and then you can understand how they're feeling, and then from there you can work with what you've got.
For years we talked about mental health and what it was. We didn't often talk 10, 20 years ago to young people about how to cope with it. We didn't give tools with it. We just made people aware, which in one way can be quite dangerous. It's the parents, when they come in, like thanking us and sent in presents, like, honestly, if we didn't have the centre, we don't know what we would have done. And like, we were able to use Happy Brain and Zoom calls, that creativity. And we have seen kids' behaviour dip, and the best behaved child, the all-round child, maybe becoming physically hurting other children because of what's going on in society at the minute. And Happy Brain, it's such a quick route to go in. It's not sitting down, we're doing a one-to-one counselling session. And in particular, I used it with one young person who was having behavioural issues, never had them before, and I brought her in for some mini one-to-one sessions just for 30 minutes. And she in particular has a really creative talent, digital graphic talents. So I said, look, do you want to come in? We'll do a bit of one-to-one. And she was like, no. And I said, and we're going to do some business ideas around your artwork, because I knew she wanted to do that. So it's picking that element and bringing out the best in that child. But through that, we were able to have conversations. How do you feel this week? Are you feeling a bit sad? We were able to draw things around it and use the horses. So it's how easy it is compared to all the other projects I've worked in. I feel like it's just these great tools, the meditation, elements of mindfulness, sensory. We've a lot of young people now that we've identified that are in the mild to medium spectrum. So we've been able to specifically have certain groups to get them used to the centre, little quieter groups, and we've used loads of Happy Brain and the sensory stuff, and that's going to grow with more ideas coming forward for that. So I just feel like if anybody was sitting on the fence with this, it's just go for it. It is so special. It's not something that you're going to have to sit and study for hours of big words. It just, Kay has made it so easily explained. In fact, I struggled at the start because I kept looking for the more complicated side. It's just broke down in such a beautiful young way that this could really shape the future of the next generation, which I feel is crucial right now. Yeah, I feel like crying, It is, but it's tears of joy, isn't it? Because to see, like, the last 12 months have been horrendous for kids. And everything's been on like a whirlwind because we don't know what's happening. And to be able to give kids that bit of stability and that certainty, it's just been amazing. Thank you, Kay.
Well, Happy Brain is going to become integral to the running of our centre here. And with the diverse backgrounds of the children and their abilities, some are really quiet, some are quite extrovert, some are supported well with carers and parents, some are supported well through school. But Happy Brain will allow them to support themselves and to really reflect on their own behaviour, which is what's necessary if they're going to move into employment and further education and be able to interact well with peers and the general public. So when we're looking at funding, I think is really central. For us personally here, I think if we can't get funding, we would certainly look at funding it ourselves. Happy Brain for us now is the core of our project, and it's what we're going to work around. I can't tell you how happy I am that we're a Happy Brain centre and that we've got Tracey on the team to draw on her experiences and knowledge, and also Kay Cook being here as well and being able to come in and help with the staff sessions. Very excited about the future really for Happy Brain here.
Looking forward, Stepney Bank Stables and Happy Brain are both committed to nurturing the mental and emotional well-being of staff, young people and contributing to resilience in the wider community.